The Clash with Howland event has come to an end, but with this event, we got our 20th piece of hero equipment, the Spiky Ball. Now, 20 is a lot of equipment, and a lot of people wonder which equipment is good, which is not. So we're gonna rate every piece of equipment in a tier list, and we'll talk about my rating as we go through here, and hopefully this will help you guys out a little bit. And just to be fully transparent, I am playing a lot with Root Rider Valks, and my list will be very biased towards Town Hall 16, as that's where I play the most. Just in case you've never seen a tier list, these are how our ratings are gonna work. S tier is gonna be like God tier, the best of the best. A tier is gonna be really, really good, really solid, a good piece of equipment. B will be a good, solid piece of equipment. C is kind of like, just average. D is a little bit below average, and F is just like, who uses this thing? So that's gonna be kind of our scale moving forward. So let's hop in here and let's start rating. We're gonna start with the Royal Champion, move on to the Warden, then the Queen, and finish with the Barbarian King. Now, I haven't planned this out and put a crazy ton amount of thoughts in this because I wanted to feel natural. I want that knee-jerk reaction to what I think about these pieces of equipment. All right, so here we go. Starting with the Royal Champion, we have the Seeking Shield. And at Town Hall 16, it doesn't see as much play. It really doesn't. At the lower Town Halls, you're kind of forced into it because you just don't have a lot of other stuff. But at Town Hall 16, it's kind of really fallen out of meta, and it kind of really fell in there. If I had a C+, just because lower Town Halls, I would probably put it at a C+. But because I don't, I think we're going to go C on it. I think we're going to go C on that Seeking Shield. It is nice. It does have that hitting 4 different targets, and it does boost up her health a little bit. But I think, again, Town Hall 16 bias, it's going to be a C tier. Next up, we have the Royal Gem. Royal Gem is one of my favorite pieces of equipment, and I recently just stopped using this one, and this one holds a place in my heart. The reason I like this one so much is because of the heal on activation. You basically get a full second life out of her. When you press the Royal Gem, you get a full heal on it. I think this one, again, would be a C+. C plus B minus. This one's kind of right there for me. For me, I like this one a little bit more than Seeking Shield, so I'm gonna go B on this. I'm gonna go B on the Royal Gem. That heal on activation is just so nice. Just getting a full second life out of a hero is just so valuable. Next is Haste Vial. Haste Vial is really good for the Royal Champion. The increased attack speed is just so good. She's able to plow through heroes, plow through clan castle troops, plow through skeletons, and this makes her really valuable. The Haste Vial, I've kind of come around to it quite a bit here recently, and it's probably moving up the list towards A+, maybe even S tier. But for me right now, it's just gonna be a solid A. No, nothing too crazy with it, but it might even be the best piece of equipment for the Royal Champion. It might even be close to S tier, but for me, I'm gonna put it at A tier. It's really good. That increased attack speed is really nasty. I just don't want to rate everything S tier, you know? I just don't want to rate everything S tier. And the Hog Puppet's kind of a similar thing. You kind of use these, especially with the Root Riders, you kind of use these in tandem, and they're really good. Now, for me, I think this would be between an A and a B. I don't know. The second of invisibility is really nice because the Royal Champion gets invisible and the Hogs get out there and kind of protect her. But at the same time, if you're pairing it with Haste Vial, she's just going to run ahead of them. But individually, I like it a lot. At, 9 Hogs? That's just massive. That's massive to have all those extra troop space. I think this one's going to be close to an A also. It's more borderline A to B, but I think I'm pretty happy with the Royal Champion equipment. Also forgot to mention the health recovery for the Hog Puppet, and that helps boost it up to an A for me. Next up, let's get into the Warden equipment. Now, the Fireball is fun, don't get me wrong. It's very situational. I do like Fireball a lot for farming. I think it's amazing for farming and completing these events that we just had. I like it a lot, but it's not an everyday use case thing. For me, it's kind of floating. Honestly, it's just really a solid C tier. It does give you that DPS increase. I think it's 100 DPS increase. It's at max level. It's really solid. But for me, it's just solid C, maybe even C minus, flirting with D. But I don't know. I just don't. This one's probably a personal one for me, just because I don't use it a lot. Oh, that's just a little bit of a heartbreaker, guys. That's just a little bit of a heartbreaker. Next up, we have the Rage Gem. I feel bad about that. Why should I feel bad at putting an epic at C? I definitely feel bad about that. That's weird. Next up is the Rage Gem, which is going to rage up everything in its aura, in the Warden's aura, that is, with 45% more damage. It also does give him a little bit more DPS and a 21% faster attack speed. This one, again, is something I just don't use a lot. flirting with C- down to D. It's a nice piece of equipment, don't get me wrong. Wait a second. All right, there we go. Sorry, it grabbed the wrong one. It grabbed the life gem underneath it. But yes, flirting with C- down to D. So I don't know, man. I want to like this one a lot more. It's just, again, one that I don't use a ton. It's kind of average, maybe even a little bit below average. I think lower town halls maybe use it. Dragon players are going to use it. Just right now, I don't know. I don't use it a lot. Do I want to give it a D though? Oh, no. We're going to go C. I'm going to strongly say it's a C-, but I don't think I can go D on it. Now, Life Gem is next, and Life Gem is like one of the old school pieces of equipment. It's going to boost up hit points. It's going to add hit points, but unfortunately, they replaced it with a troop. The Apprentice Warden, essentially, I mean, obviously it's a very mini case, but you can equip a different piece of equipment and just use Apprentice Warden and be fine. And for me, that means this is going to go lower. The Life Gem is going to go to D tier for me. It might even be lower than that. It might even be D- to F tier. Yeah, I don't want to say it's unusable because, you know, lower town halls are going to use it. But it's not great. It's not great just because the Apprentice Warden is there, kind of replaced it. Next up, we got Healing Tome. Oh, man, I feel guilty about some of these. Why do I feel guilty about some of these? Healing Tome, I love. Whether it's Root Rider attack or a Root Rider attack, man, it's just so good healing them up. Root Rider's in there. I mean, even Lalo players like use this a lot. I think this one is flirting with S tier up there. Just that heal is so nasty. Hybrid, we saw it in one of the Howland challenges. We had a hybrid in there with the Healing Tome. This is going to be a solid A for me. A really good piece of Warden equipment. Just really strong. Along with that, it also has the extra health recovery or extra HP in there. So it's really nice. Healing Tome's really good. I like this one quite a bit. Personal favorite of mine. Obviously a little bit biased. Next up, we got the Eternal Tome, the OG Eternal Tome. All it does is give you, at max level 18, 9.5 seconds of invulnerability. Yeah, that's pretty nice, actually. That's pretty good. And this is going to be so good. I mean, think about it. We use blimps with this. We send in troops with this. We use it to protect our queen. We use it to protect huge masses of troops. We use it so many different ways. It is so valuable. And for me, the Eternal Tome is our first S tier piece of equipment. It is a classic piece that is just so good. I don't think we could rank this any lower. It's just so good. It has to be our first S tier piece of equipment. Next up is the Queen equipment here. Oh, I feel like I'm going to be biased here. We get the Frozen Arrow starting us off here. Frozen Arrow slows down your enemies. It also boosts up her damage per second. Honestly, like when you're charging your queen into a compartment or just send her into a compartment, like with an enemy hero, it's so valuable, man. It's so nice to have that Frozen Arrow on there. I like it a lot. I was kind of on the fence with it early, but I've really come around to the Frozen Arrow. For me, like it's B+ A material. I think for this one, I'm going to boost it up to an A. Yeah, I feel like I'm being very generous. I don't know. It's an epic. It's really good. Just that freeze slowing ability is just really nice. After that, we got the Giant Arrow. At maximum level, it shoots across the base. It's going to deal 1,950 damage to everything in its path. It's going to boost the queen with 132 hit points and 581 extra hit points. Did I say hit points twice? I might have. 132 DPS and 581 hit points. So a nice little boost there. This is a fun piece of equipment, but it's very situational, very... like, I don't know, you have to be using this for something. You're not really going to take this into war very much often, like as the average player. And for that, I'm just going to put it at a solid C. A really solid C. I don't think it's like a disrespectful C. I think it's kind of just there. It's kind of there. It's good. It's decent. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just, yeah, it's a C. That's exactly what I described as a C yet. Next up, we have the Healer Pupper. My notes fell. But this is going to spawn us 3 level 8 healers. On top of that, we're going to also have a self-heal. I think that's one thing we don't get talked about much with the Healer Puppet is the self-heal. We also get 968 extra hit points with this. This can be really valuable as well when you do a little bit of a hero dive with the queen. Use her in there with the Frozen Arrow to really take out a lot of base. You can do a little queen charge in there with the Healer Puppets. It's not one I've used a ton. It seems in theory really great. It's just not one I've used a ton. And for that, we're just going to give it a solid B. Solid B tier there. Solid B tier on that one. Next up is the Invisibility Vial. Oh boy, invisibility vial. I am torn. I've been thinking about this one the whole time I've been coming to her. It's almost 8 seconds of invisibility. It's going to boost her damage up by 1740, and it gives her 700 extra hit points. A lot of extra hit points in there, not more than the healer puppet, but a lot in there. But that extra damage with the invisibility, it bails her out so many times, so many times. You pair that with a unicorn. I mean, I know we're doing these individual, but you pair that with a unicorn, it's just so good. This one's like A+ S tier for me. I don't want to give too many S's, but I feel like if there's going to be an S tier, it's got to be invisibility vial, right? It's got to be invisibility vial. It's so good. It's so good. It really is. It really is. And then finally for the archer queen, we have the archer puppet. It's going to spawn 35 baby little archers in there. It is going to give her a little bit extra damage, a little extra health. Nothing significant, but it's more about those archers and they're just kind of helping out. And since we've gotten all this other equipment, it's kind of fallen off, right? You don't see it as much. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like unusable. I think it's like C- if I'm being honest with you. So we're gonna put it just right here at C tier. We're gonna put it right here at C tier. I think that's very fair. It's kind of just meh. It's kind of just there. I don't think we're gonna have, to be honest, any F tiers. Maybe we will. We still have the king, but that's where we're at here. All right, let's move on to the Barbarian King's equipment. All right, you guys ready for this? You ready for it? Vampire Mustache. This one is underrated in my opinion. I love the Vamp Stash. At max level, 300 healing per hit. That's crazy good, man. Crazy, crazy good. But one thing that doesn't get talked about much, like remember we ranked haste vials so high because of the increased attack speed? Vampire Mustache has a 22% increased attack speed. Yeah, that's one thing that's not really talked about much. So not only is he healing with every hit, but he also gets a little bit of an attack speed increase. It's just insane to think about. It's really, really good. And for me, this is just a solid A. This is one of my favorite pieces of equipment. The more I've used it since I've maxed it, the more I love it. And what I pair with the Vampire Stash, the Giant Gauntlet. I don't even think we have to talk about numbers with this. I think we can all agree Giant Gauntlet is S tier. I don't think there has to be any question. 17 seconds, he goes giant, he gets 60% less damage in that 17 seconds. It's just so good. It's so good. Let's be honest with ourselves. We don't need any explanation there. Moving forward. Next up, Earthquake Boots. Oh, we go from Giant Gauntlet, top of the spectrum, S tier, to the Earthquake Boots. Oh, Earthquake Boots. For farming, okay, maybe. They're so unpredictable. Like, you have to get the timing just right for them to be very useful. They do deal 50% damage to like all surrounding buildings. They do have some nice health boost with them. They're really flirting with that F tier, man. For me, they're flirting with that F tier. You just don't see them used much. For me, I don't know. I don't really want to give anything F tier. I really don't, because I think all the equipment has its uses. Except Earthquake Boots! Put them in F tier! We have to have one F tier in here. Sorry, Earthquake Boots. I had to do it to you one time. Oh, that's rough. Rage Vial is a really good piece of equipment. I think until you get some of this other stuff, Rage Vial is really good. I mean, even like until I got Vampire Stash up, like I was using Rage Vial. Rage Vial with Giant Gauntlet is just such a nasty combination. I don't think it's quite A tier, but we're gonna put it at B, and it's gonna be a high B. It's gonna be like a B+ for me. It's a really good piece of equipment, really strong, really solid. And this is, again, my personal opinion. I know that might offend some people, but that's just where we're going with it. Barbarian Puppet. So here's the thing. And I know it's supposed to be like this piece of equipment, but the issue with Barbarian Puppet is the other pieces of equipment we have. Barbarian Puppet going to be better than Giant Gauntlet, Rage Vial, Giant Gauntlet Vamp Stash, Giant Gauntlet Spiky Ball, which we haven't talked about yet? I don't think so. For the King, it's okay. It does give him a nice heal on ability. It's 1260 on ability and 2,550 hit points, so that's really nice. It's really flirting C- D+ territory for me. I think I'm being really generous with the C's. It's nice, don't get me wrong, because you spawn, how many is it? 44 Barbarians. That's a lot of Barbarians. You spawn 44 Barbarians. I was leaning towards D with this one. I really was. I'm kind of leaning in towards C. Is it D? It's like right in between for me, man. It's right in between. I feel like just because of how many troops it spawns, it's really, really, really solid. It's just, even the lower town halls can get the I think with 2 epics, I'm putting it at D tier. I don't want to do it. I feel bad about that. I feel bad about that. Oh, and then finally, the Spiky Ball. This one just came out, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't got to use it a lot. It does deal massive damage, 3,250 damage to 9 different targets at max level, 222 DPS added to the king, 3,290 hit points added to the king. So it's really nice. It can take out, it can one-shot like half the defenses in the game. So that's a really positive thing. So it can really clear some pathing, deal some massive damage. You pair it with a couple spells, and it's really, really good. Again, I haven't got to mess with it a lot. I haven't tested it a lot. This video is being made shortly after the Spiky Ball came out, so if some future strategies develop, that's probably why we're going with a B tier on this one. I like it. It's just I want to see more from it. So there we go, guys. There are our 20 pieces of equipment. I think we got everything in there. Let me know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Let me know your thoughts. I try to take into account as much as possible, but I think this is a pretty fair tier list. Not too many S tier, a lot of really solid pieces of equipment. Definitely biased to what I use. I won't lie. But let me know your guys' thoughts. What's your S tier equipment? Let me know down there in the comments section. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. You guys have a great day. Keep on clash bashing.